Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Best of the 757 Community Talk Show. And we got some exciting guests today. I mean, it is so exciting. Everything was going haywire. I got to get me an extra hand, a tech, to make sure that everything works properly. But nevertheless, we're going to do our best to make sure you get the information and everything you need to know about our special guest. He's so special that I'm so excited because this is the first time I haven't seen him in a while, and he brought his co-host with him as well, and I'm gonna put them all on the screen because I'm just trying to get everybody on stage right now, ladies and gentlemen. I want to introduce you to the number one. He's the one and only legend. He's talking about Joe Smith. He's from the 757. He's from Chesapeake, and he's got an exciting event he's got going on, and I want to bring him on so we can get straight to that event. And I want y'all to go hit that share button and let people be aware that, hey, Joe Smith is NBA, is on the air right here on the Best of the 757. How y'all doing? I apologize, for, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just want to make sure. And, I've been knowing Joe for a long time when he used to come to the club, and as well as David, if I say your name right?
It's Tommy.
Tommy. Oh, sorry. Tommy. They used to come to Club Picasso's when it was open. And I really, really appreciate you coming on to my show and to inform the community and the Best of the 757 community what you are about to do in the weeks to come. And like I said, I want to put that up in front right now so that people can see it and get information that's going to be running across below the screen. And it's, like I said, it's an exciting time. And I just got to get my thoughts together, because whenever something falls back on you and, it kind of, when you got everything set that you want to say and try to be natural in doing it, it kind of, jogs your memory. But nevertheless, we're going to make sure that it all go well and get the information out to the community.
Yes, sir.
So I don't know which one want to speak first. Tommy, are you going to speak? And then, bring Joe Smith in, y'all can, once that's done, then both of y'all, can take your time. And, I'm Tommy, I just want you to bring it on so you can give a little background. I mean, everybody know Joe, but
yeah.
And I'm not saying that they don't know you.
No, I actually like that. No, Cap, I actually like
that. But real quick before Tommy gets started, Cap, I just gotta correct one thing, man, before I get in trouble when they see me out in these streets.
Okay.
I'm from Norfolk, not Jackson. No, I'm from Norfolk. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't want no trouble.
Yeah, we don't want no
Hey, I know about those streaks. Yeah. Doing this for 50 years in the club, they get
around here for a while now. So yeah, we want to make sure we stay right with the folks in the streets now.
Yes, sir.
Stay right.
Yes, sir. So Tommy, I'm gonna let you go ahead and before I mess up and people start calling me. Like, yo, dog, when you get your information straight, I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, you good, Cap.
All good, Cap. Now we appreciate you having us on today. It's really great getting a chance to talk to you and seeing you again. Like you said, it's been a long time of just getting the chance to connect with you from the old Picasso days, so on and so forth. But yeah, Joe and I are back in the area. First off, just to really just set that, put that out there that we're back in the area. And one of the things that Joe wanted to do was really bring his camp back to the 757 community. That was super important to him. So just a little background on us as well. Joe and I have been knowing each other since he was in high school. So we about 40 years of friendship. You're looking at right here, and it's grown from there. So over the years we stayed in contact, and just recently here within the last 2 years, we reconnected. And in that reconnection, I had started my business, my technology consulting firm, and Joe was really wanting to move his academy here to the 757. So we really the conversation started out as brainstorming, and that brainstorming turned into an official partnership. And I don't really look at it in that sense. I know we do business, but this is my brother. Like I said, we've been friends for 40 years. We all know the story. So it's really just about how can we turn the page and move forward and bring a lot of the resources and connections and partnerships and relationships that we've built outside of the 757. How can we bridge that, those resources here to the 757? Right. That was something that was big with Joe. That was something that was big with me starting my technology company as well. One of the things that Joe pointed out was as part of my technology consulting, we have training, and that was a big piece that he wanted to add to the academy as well. Because he's like, Tom, I don't want to just be about basketball. I want to be able to offer other outlets and other opportunities to the youth. Well, I will just say not even just to the youth, to the community. Because with some of the classes and things that we have, the parents, adults, transitioning veterans, can take advantage of the technology training as well. So that's where the partnership came from. We've been knee deep and hardworking here for the past, I would say, a year, maybe to 18 months. It's been really head down and working. It's for us, we've just recently got a new partnership and collaboration with the city of Virginia Beach and District 7 with Councilman Green. So that was huge. And with that, we were able to establish a connection with the Virginia Beach Sports Center, which is Councilman Green right there, newly elected, wonderful person to work with. On the City Council of Virginia Beach. He has been absolutely amazing and has been an advocate for us. So you always want that person that's speaking positively in rooms that you're not in. And he, I can say, has been one of those advocates for both of us. So, with that, it's really just now doing the hard work to bringing the academy into fruition with the with the city of Virginia Beach. And then with that, to, like I said earlier, being able to unfold a lot of those relationships, partnerships, and resources so we can really just see the city thrive, look to promote the sports tourism aspect that the city of Virginia Beach is looking to do. And not only just with the city of Virginia Beach, really help Hampton Roads as a community, because we're part of the community. Right. Virginia Beach Boulevard isn't just in Norfolk. You know what I'm saying? 64 is just in Chesapeake. You know what I mean? We are interconnected so much. So, Joe and I talk about that a lot. Not isolating ourselves to one group is really letting the whole community of the 757, because Cap, like we talked about earlier, we all grew up in this community. Right. When we were all coming up, the club, so to speak, which is funny to say, was our community. So now we see a lot of those folks now, and they're happy to see us back. They want to know what we're doing. They want to know if, how Joe is helping the community. To your point, if we're doing something in Norfolk, or, hey, make sure you rep Norfolk and make sure y'all say something about Virginia Beach. So we're hearing it. So we want to put in the work. Pull up our sleeves, put in the work, and really kind of turn the page on what the 21st century 757 can look like.
Yeah. Well, there's no question. Like I tell people, I'm born in Portsmouth, Virginia. And back in the day, P-Town can come to Port Norfolk.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. But vice versa.
Yeah. Right. But I was blessed that most of my work was in Norfolk. Okay. And as working in the warehouse, Colonial Store warehouses for 7 years, I worked at GE for about 4 or 5 years. And then when I started DJing, I started in Portsmouth, but I winded up going to Norfolk. And Norfolk always blessed me supporting what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have no problem with Norfolk. I don't have no problem with Virginia Beach. I don't have no problem with any of the 7 cities, because as a DJ and a promoter, I've been in all the cities as well as other states to help promote her, because I used to work in promotions with Soul Ranger, Frankie Stewart of WRE.
Yeah, no question.
And stuff. But through my skills as a DJ, people have always, played in all the clubs. They always supported me. And I love all the community, all the kids. It's not about me. It's about the kids. So when I'm doing, when I'm doing things, people will feel some, say things that like offend me, but I try not to let it take away from what my spirit tells me to do. I'm a spiritual person. So if my spirit say go here, I go there. I've been offered clubs to play even now, but I tell people I don't play in small venues. Anything under 300 or 400 people, I'm not doing it, because Mr. Popo coming. And I'm like one of the only DJs that's ever been arrested. In different areas because of the crowd. It's no problem. It's just they ain't creating no major problem. It's just that you want people to be safe, and I'm firm believer in keeping people safe. So when I get an opportunity to have legends on, people that just like when you go play basketball, your opponent, hey, he don't care where you're from, he wants to win the game.
You want to win the game. That's what it's all about.
Right. And with you bringing this program to the 757 and showing the young people that when you was from here, you came back. You came back to say, hey, look, this is how it's done. And that's why I wanted you on my come on my show, because I know you get all kind of to be on people's shows. But when you just took my offer, I really appreciate it.
No, thanks. Thank you.
So, with you being the celebrity you are, the NBA, inducted to the Basketball Hall of Fame and all that, tell the people a little bit about, how do you feel about, all the accolades you have had? And with this, I'm just telling you right now, this is going to be probably one of your greatest trophies.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Giving back to the kids.
I mean, it's great. I mean, as a kid, when you're growing up, you said you have dreams, you have goals. And I mean, to be able to accomplish my ultimate goal of making it to the NBA, being the #1 pick, that's something, that, you can't, that's something I live with forever, and cherish forever. But like you said, man, it's nothing like working with these kids, seeing their development, seeing their confidence build, seeing the smile on their face, seeing them go from not believing that they can do something to doing it, and now all of a sudden, they're so excited about it that they just want to keep doing it, continue doing it. Hearing these kids come in and go through some drills, and all of a sudden at the end of the drills, they're saying, basketball is my favorite sport. I want to sign up for the basketball academy. Stuff like that, man. You can't put anything on top of that. And that's where I get my joy from. I get my joy from seeing these kids, man, having fun playing the game of basketball, learning from my experiences, learning from what I went through throughout my basketball career, and being able to just give back to these kids and these communities, man. It's just been a blessing for me to be able to do that. And I'm happy to do it. I get excited when I have to do it. Sometimes I'm aching when I go out there on that basketball court with these kids. My knees aching because I'm a little bit older than these days. So So I get to ache. I be aching sometimes, but when I get out there, man, it's almost like it goes away. And these kids I just feed off these kids' energy and their joy for the game. So I love it.
Yeah. That's the key component. I also want to take time to introduce my co-host, Simply C, who has a podcast on introduce yourself, C. She's my colleague from Old Dominion University, and she also you can tell them about yourself.
Firstly, I'd like to apologize for my tardiness. I had to get back home to be back up here. But yes, my name is Cece, or simply Cece. I go by simply Cece. My name is Sierra. I started podcasting in like 2018, and I met Henderson Vaughn, and he's been a valuable mentor with me. And yeah, I spend my time now working on streaming video games or filming events for friends and family, and working on building on my production company.
Awesome. Nice to meet you, Cece.
Nice to meet you too.
So with every, like I said, with everybody, when it comes to kids, my one of my phrases is God don't make no mistakes.
Right.
We make mistakes because we think they supposed to know, but kids are afraid, because when I work in the community with kids, and then I got 7 kids myself, except for one of my daughters passed away. Matter of fact, tomorrow, I think it'll be when she passed away this year. Yeah. But, like I said, when God called a soldier home, they in a better place than we are.
Amen.
But the foundation is when you have youth that look like there's no hope. This is important. And like I said, I really admire you for doing what you're doing. And Tommy too. Did I say your name right?
The youth, yeah. The youth are very observant, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They watch their parents. They watch what's going on around the neighborhood. They watch, whatever they see, that's what they're going to imitate. Yeah. So with me, being able to come back to the community that helped raise me, and be able to show them something different, someone that came out of that system, or out of the same streets, and was able to do something positive, to be able to shed that type of light in their lives, man. That's something that goes a long ways as well.
Yes, I mean it's needed. It's needed.
Yes.
Yeah. And with the gun violence that we have in our community, schools, everywhere else.
Exactly.
I worked, and I used to search the teens when I used to do dances. I search them myself, and I would find weapons on them, and the next dance they would come to and say, "Man, I want to thank you for last week for searching me, because when I left the dance, these guys were going to jump me, and if I had that knife, I would have probably hurt them and been in jail." And I still got that same knife today. That's over 30 years ago. But like I try to tell people, you have to get the trust. If you get their trust, when the words say, as they say on the street, word is bond.
Yeah.
But most people don't know where that word came from. That phrase actually came out of the Bible.
Right.
I'm not saying that nobody knows, but to me, it came out of the Bible because God gave his word. God spoke. God didn't touch nothing until he made man.
Right.
Everything else, he spoke it in existence.
Right.
And we have that gift, but if you don't nourish the youth, they don't know that. They don't know you have a right to say no. You have a right to want to do something different. You don't want to go down a path that there's no return.
Yeah.
Right.
So when it comes to YouTube, y'all have come from here. You came back here after getting, your accolades and being successful in your careers. So how do you really feel like reaching this camp is for boys and girls?
Yes.
Okay. So what would you, when other people see this and share this with their youth, with their kids, what do you want to tell the young ladies about basketball?
I really don't have to tell them much. I mean, just working with, just watching these young girls that I've been working with, and watching the young girls around the gym, and that I've been, and I've had come to camps before. Women's basketball is in good hands, actually.
Yeah.
Women's basketball, these young girls, they pay attention. They really try to, they're coachable, and they really try to do the skill, whatever you're trying to teach them. They really pay attention to the footwork. They really pay attention to how the shot is coming off. They pay attention to all the details, man. So it's, man, the girls are in the game of basketball is in great hands with the girls. It's the boys I have more trouble with.
When they play the video game,
try to keep them in line. You know, at times can be a little tough. You know, they want to. They get competitive and they get out of line a little bit. But, yeah, but the girls, man, I don't have to tell them nothing, man. Just come in, be ready, and just be ready. And most 9 times out of 10 they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key.
Yeah.
This is for either you or Tommy. What's the first camp and the age? You know when you.
Oh, sure. Yeah, the first camp that we're having is going to be July 7th through the 11th. Mm-hmm. And ages are going to be ages 8 through 12. So we separated the younger group from the older group for that week, so everyone's not there together. So first week is July 7th through the 11th, a full week. Again, both boys and girls, ages 8 to 12, and it's only $99 for the entire week. As well, and that's the other piece that we really, Joe and I really talked about and discussed, and it was important to him and to both of us, right, to be conscious about the economy that we're in, and to be conscious about the communities that we want to help. And one of those things is understanding, a lot of our folks in our communities are on budgets. You got people that are rich that are on budgets. So to just imagine, folks coming up in our underserved communities and our well-served communities that are on budgets, paying $5,000, $6,000, $1,000 for your child to go to camp, for the two of us, we just felt, not to disparage any other groups, we just felt it was just a bit much.
Right.
We didn't, whatever we can do, whether it's through sponsorships, anything, whatever we can do to offset those costs to the parents and children that are coming to our camp, we want to do that. Yeah, we definitely want to do that. So our camps are only $99 for the week. As well, you can go to joesmithbasketballacademy.com to see all of our pricing for when we have our full summer camps under events, or just for getting personal workouts with the number one pick here. We have pricing for that as well. So we really look to making it affordable and inclusive as well. I know that's a buzzword right now in the world that we live in, but when I say inclusive, and I think Joel will agree with me on this one, when we say inclusive, in a lot of the AAU world and a lot of the other basketball forum worlds, they go looking for the best players to bring in. They really, look to cap themselves after they get the best players in. So we got our 15, so we're good. Right. And for us, that's not. We want a healthy environment for children to learn.
Right.
Period.
That's all skill levels.
All skill. So it's all skill levels. We don't care what skill level you are. If you want to play, come to the Joe Smith Basketball Academy.
Yeah.
We don't want to turn any kids away. So we don't want to get into that world. If we have to turn kids away, it's because the fire marshal told us we had to turn them away. Not because we wanted to turn them away. So we can't put any more kids in this building. That's the only time when we're turning kids away. We want a safe, inclusive, fun learning environment for both boys and girls. Our camps are open to even the parents. So we don't tell parents you can't stay and watch kids. You got to leave. Nope. You can sit right there in the bleachers. Go get your salt. Go get your water. Come sit right here in the bleachers and watch your child get a full training session with an NBA player. And I think I'll say this is, one of the things, since I've been connected with Joe in this respect, one of the things that I respect so much about him is every day, all day, each hour, it's him. The coaches support him. It's not the other way around. So he's doing the training. He's running the whole camp. I'll tell you this. I get everybody in the door. That's it. That's my job.
You're the promoter.
Everybody in the door. Zone the big guy. Okay. So, and he takes that, and to his point that he just made earlier, sometimes I got to save him from himself. You know what I mean? You know, like, hey, buddy, you kind of got to sit this one out. I got to worry about your needs for next week. We have to travel this weekend because we have another event. So, but to his point, he's very passionate about it. He loves it. It's almost cool to watch him go from kind of laid back Joe to this coach with all this energy when he gets up the court with the children. So he is fully involved from the time that those kids walk in the door to the time that they leave. And I want to make sure that gets out, because I know, you know, we get that question a lot. Well, is he really going to be there, or is he really doing the training? Yes, it's the staff that we have support Joe, not the other way around. He runs the camp. He puts the curriculum together for what they're going to do, what training, you know, the lesson plan they're doing that week. Yeah. That's like the man right there. Like I said, it's my job just to get him in the door. It's his job to turn him into something. So, so that's it. That's our bond. That's how we wrote. That's how we manage it. So it's really just to be affordable, inclusive, and you're getting full training, cradle to grave from a former NBA legend.
No doubt. And that location where it's going to be at
the Virginia Beach Sports Center, which is right next door to the Virginia Beach Pavilion in Virginia Beach. So again, we're doing that first week, the 7th through the 11th, ages 8 to 12. And then the second week we're doing is the 21st through 25th. And those ages are going to be 13 to 18. So we'll have the older group. Again, both boys and girls, all same rules apply.
Both in July.
Okay. That sounds great.
Both in July.
Hey, if my knees were a little bit better, I might be out there doing some jumps myself.
Come on, I'll teach you some set shots.
Come on. Hey, come on. I'll pick up something every time. So come on. I'll pick up something.
Nobody never let me. They wouldn't let me play sports when I was growing up. Nobody let me know.
They wouldn't let you out there.
They were intimidated. That's what it sounded like.
That's what it was. I heard about you, Cap. I heard about you. They said, they were scared of you.
Yeah. You know, they were like, no, you sit this one out, bro. We got to pull. What that you said that an hour ago. But it's all good. I became an artist. Went to school to do art. I did take martial arts. You know, I did take martial arts for a couple of years, so I got pretty good in that.
Okay.
But, you know, like I tell people, you know, some things ain't for everybody, and everybody some things. So you have to be very true. You have to know what God gifts are, what your gifts.
To that point, that's why our connection is what it is.
Right.
Because sports is not for everybody, but technology may be your field.
Right.
And you know, so that's why the connection that we have, the partnership that we have works well. I mean, because you know, you might not be, you look at the numbers, man, the percentage of basketball players, kids that make it to the NBA is very low.
Right.
So we want to preach that. We want to, you know, build that confidence that you can do it. But at the same time, we want to give you something else to fall back on just in case. And that's why this partnership.
Be a hobby. Like maybe they just enjoy the sport and they're not wanting to do it professionally. There's different pressures doing it as an NBA star versus just going out to the court with your friends. You can have fun with your friends. You can still be good at it, but it's not your job.
Yeah, absolutely right.
It's just moving. It's just really get the kids moving again. Get
them off their chairs,
moving their arms and legs again. Because that's I didn't play in the league or whatever the case. I played some organized, but for the most part, I was in the park every Saturday.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was in the park every afternoon at school. And and that to me, like, look, talking to kids now, kids don't go outside to play basketball. It's so organized and so regimented.
Right.
Just the art of going just to go to the court on a Saturday or after school and just going to play with your friends or go make new friends. That sense of community. A lot of us got connected in different communities because we rode our bikes over to another community to go play ball.
Right.
And now we know people in that neighborhood now.
Yeah.
Over there one day.
Exactly.
And so bringing that sense of community back is really big for us because we grew up in it in the area. To the point that we keep talking about, that's part of the sense of the community that we grew up in. And then the other side that Joe just touched on is like that I can relate to. Like, yeah, you're not going to be all that talented to be in the NBA. I can relate to that. So, but it doesn't mean that you are not, well versed to learn other areas. Hence, I had a wonderful 30-year career in technology before I started my own company. So there's offering what those advantages can be, and me bridging those skills and those resources to folks. I have another partner that does digital media. So we have a full sports digital media group that does that covers games in the DMV that does full training as well. So for all of the young boys and girls that may not get into sports, to CC's point, that may not be able to make the team or want to even go in the NBA, now you have a media outlet. So if you want to learn how to do play-by-play, sideline reporting, editing, production, now we have a whole apparatus in-house that can teach you that as well. So you can learn technology from from a start piece of Microsoft Office and the whole suite around that. My training curriculum goes all the way up to machine learning, project management, and introductory to AI as well. So you're getting 3 pillars of some training that you can take with you. And we can actually even point you. We don't do job placement, but we can point you in the direction of the careers that the trainings that you're taking can apply to. So at least give you that direction as well, and be able to bridge you in the right direction, almost to take it, leading you to water in that respect. So once you take that piece and run with it, for us is giving you the opportunity.
Yes. So with all that's going on with that for the youth, when will your part, Tommy, will that take place the same week or
no sir.
Okay.
This week for the first 2 weeks, those 2 weeks in July that we're doing is strictly a summer camp basketball training that week. There will be some mentorship involved, so I may do some talking. Joe will do. We'll bring some other folks in.
Oh, we got 5 days. He gonna speak one of those days. He just don't know it yet.
Yeah, okay.
As you see,
right,
he does the lesson plan. As you see, he does the lesson plan. So there's that. So being able to speak on that and bridge that is important, and have that mentorship. So we're not doing it this time. And Cap just, and that's part of the partnership that we have with Councilman Green, is to be able to bridge these resources now that we're working with District 7 in the city and the city of Virginia Beach. Now we can bridge these resources to the area now. Right. So, with the help of Councilman Green in the city, we're looking for spaces. So now for us to set up home, we want to make sure we have enough room so we can have our classroom. So all of this stuff is in the works right now. So it's not just camp, it's sponsorships, is finding a permanent home. There's so many different swim lanes we have going on right now, just to make sure that this whole apparatus that we have is going to move in the right direction and be able to impact Hampton Roads the way we like it to be.
Because in this area, like I said, raising kids, I got 14 grandkids. Wow. And like I keep telling people, you have to pay attention. They want attention. Yes. They're not out there just getting in trouble. You're not paying attention to them. What they saying is, I'm gonna get some attention one way or the other.
Exactly. Exactly.
So if you give them something positive, like they used to tell me when I used to do team dances, they'd be like, Mr. Vaughn, please, Mr. Vaughn, don't let them close this place down. We not causing. Those are other people. We don't have nowhere to go.
Right.
When they have nowhere to go, they are looking. And if you give them something and they feel safe, and they will rise to the challenge.
Right. And I think we both feel the more positive outlets and opportunities you give somebody, the less restricted they feel. If you give somebody two options, but they only understand a third, they're going to be frustrated. So you want to be able to provide as many, what I call, using the basketball moniker, just spin many balls in your finger as possible. Right. That's what you want. You know what I mean? Because many opportunities that you have. So that's why we're offering the technology training and the media training. Hey, you don't like this, you might like this. You want to be able, to your point, Cap, offer as many outlets and opportunities in the 21st century. And remember, I understand. When we grew up, all we had was school and the military. You do one of those two things. You go work, or you go to school, or you go to military.
Right.
All right. Yeah, that was forced down our throats. Now we want to be able to open that book a little more. So you have those three, and they are well versed, wonderful things that you can do. But now you have AI that you can start learning. You have, the whole, if you're paying attention to entertainment, Cap, like I know that you are, you see the landscape is changing to streaming now. So that's why we're started offering the digital media services and things like that. So not just for sports, this can work in media, period. So now, giving you that aspect and see if that's something that you want to work on and do. So all of these different pieces is really the foundation of it, comes from giving as many opportunities to the youth and to the community as possible.
So can I ask if anything motivated that passion for you? So would you say maybe something happened with you where you might have felt limited in your career coming up, or did you see opportunities as you were developing that kind of motivate you to continue to make people aware? And the same thing for you, Joe, as well. What's motivating you to work with children so passionately?
For me, yes, something did happen. I was, yes. For one, realizing I tell them that the first elephant is, I'm not going to be good enough in sports, so I might want to find a career. Let's get the elephant out of the room. I'm 5'9", 180 pounds. Unless I run a 4'1", 4'2", not really going to pan out in sports. So I fell in love early. I fell in love with technology. But as like I said, I have a 30-year career. So when I first got into it, the internet, we barely had the internet. When I first got in. And like Joe remembers when I first got in, I was working over at Bank of America. Well, I take that back. My first technology job was Ticketmaster in Virginia Beach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're still here.
Right. That is my first technology job, was Ticketmaster, Virginia Beach, and then Bank of America in downtown Norfolk. So, but what I noticed as I started to grow in my career, started to travel and come back to Virginia, I started seeing all of these opportunities that weren't in my area. And it frustrated me because I wanted to learn all these different things. I didn't have a bunch of money to go to college. I didn't want to take compute. I didn't want to take programming at the time, because that's all they taught for technology at the time. So I really started to travel and start finding my niche. So taking certifications, I learned about all these different certifications and all these different trainings and technologies once I left the area. So that's really was my first thing of, I traveled. People say, well, you traveled because you were in the military. No, I traveled because I wanted to learn technology. I only went 2 places when I was in the military. So, but my technology career has taken me throughout the United States and different places within the world. And it's been a huge blessing. Learning from people, learning different resources, building relationships over this career. And it got me to thinking, how many people in Hampton Roads are like me? Right. How many kids are like me? My mom still lived here, so I got a chance to come back and forth quite a bit as well. That's really where it came from, being able to offer those opportunities that I didn't have when I was living here, to be able to offer those opportunities here. One of the big things we around here is, even from our local politicians, we hear about people leaving the area. and why they leave the area. There's so many different reasons of why they leave the area. Okay, fine. Well, let's try to keep them from leaving. What are we doing to keep them from leaving? What resources are we bringing here for this next generation that's here that we're talking about, that we're worried about? How are we not going to get them to leave? All right, cool. It's pretty much sold for us. He's gone over here for the most part. And coming back is like, really hard. So how are we going to help, the next generation behind us not feel I have to leave Hampton Roads in order to be somebody? Right here.
Right.
I'm talking to somebody that was somebody from right here. I'm talking to a few people that made it that from right here. So how do we do that? How do we give them those resources? How do the resources that Joe had in California and out of the 12 teams that he played for out of his career, how is he able to bridge those resources back to the community to help home? Same question boats for Tommy. All the technology resources and all these people that you met and all of these CEOs and COOs and all these folks that you've met over your years, how do you bridge those resources and those relationships to come back here to the area to help your area? So that's, we talk about rolling up your sleeves and doing that hard work. That's the hard work that we're in right now.
Like I said, again, it goes back to this one word.
That's it. Simple as that, man.
If you don't feel it, you can't present it.
You can't present it.
That's it.
When you know what love is, and like I'll say in some of my conversations or talk shows, sex is not love. Sex is for reproduction to bring in a life. But if you love someone, then you want to raise a family. But our youth has got it backwards when they thinking sex is love. Love is loving yourself. If you can't love yourself, you can't love nobody else.
It starts there first, right?
And then once you get to understand, wait a minute, I've been missing this. And then when they see that, now I know what love is, I want more of that. And that's how you have to reach them, because when I was at Old Dominion and I started my talk show, and I had invited this young lady over, the one in the back with the Batman outfit. Her name is Serena Mann.
Okay.
And she has a school in Portsmouth that she teaches, young, it's where parents are working and she teaches them, bring them into the school, and they pick them up after. And when I was invited to come to the Chesapeake Library, she wanted to bring all the superheroes in the community. So when I came in with me over here with the Shield and her over there and a couple of other people that she brought in, the kids were excited. They were excited. And when you do things, and she's doing another benefit fundraiser in Portsmouth, and I think it's August the 8th. She's bringing in Force MDs and stuff over at the venue 757 off of George Washington Highway.
Exactly what you're talking about.
She's working. She does a lot of work in the community. A lot of work, major stuff, putting on events and stuff. So I can introduce y'all to her so y'all can get together, because it's really teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work.
No question.
And people sometimes thinking that it's always got to be about me. I got to be front and center. Well, only person that's supposed to be front and center is God. If God is front and center, everything else is going to fall in place. You might try to stop me. You might even slow me down. But God's going to say, keep doing what you're doing. As long as you don't give up, God is the key answer. And that's why, when I saw, when I had talked to City Councilman Cash Green, he said, can you, reach out to Joe and maybe get him on your show? I'm like, man, you got to reach. I'm going to call him. I'm going to get him on the show. I need him more than he need me. I just need him to be up on the show. Because it shows that I mean, as big as your stats are, you're known all over the world. I'm just known here in the 757. But what it means is that when God put people together, that's what he wants. Somebody got to do the work. Somebody got to be able to talk the language. Somebody got to represent what you're trying to accomplish. And when you bridge that gap, when you bring people together, it's like, as long as we're working as a team, I don't get into ego stuff. I keep telling, I don't do
no
ego.
question.
Nothing about that.
Exactly.
I know about getting the job done.
Right.
Accomplishing a goal. Too many kids are dying, and some mothers ain't even crying because they numb to it now. They numb because you see it every day.
Right.
You done cried out. There's no tears. But they still want to do work to try to prevent another mother from losing a child.
From having to go through that.
Right. So when you come along with your program, that will inspire them to say, I'm going to get my homework done. I ain't going to be outside after 9 o'clock.
Right.
I'm going to be home. And I'm not getting in a situation that's going to cause me pain and suffering and my family.
Right.
So that's why I wanted you. That's why I wanted you on, so that people can recognize that you are doing a tremendous work that's not there. And it has to be, you have to bring people like you, Tommy, into the area. Two different events. You sports, he's technology. Right. Then, because like I said, I didn't play sports, but I had the computer ever since when I had the computer when there was Radio Shack.
Right. Yeah. See?
When AOL was invented,
that's why you Cap, exactly. Talk to me.
Dial up.
Yeah, you have to laugh at you, Cap. I know where you're coming from. I remember dial up. I know it. I'm with you, buddy.
And that's what you have to realize. And I tell people all the time. See, the difference is I was in a special education class till I was 17. I was taken out of the special education class in the 3rd grade. I wasn't in the 3rd grade but 2 weeks. If it wasn't for my teacher, my first teacher, Miss Overton in Portsmouth at Brighton, she had called me to the board to do a math problem. And, and then after I did it, she said, go sit down. And she called me back up after she finished that class. I mean, that lesson. And she said, look, how did you know how to do that on the that math problems like that?
Right.
I said, because I just do. I just know it. She said, well, how did you know it? You didn't write it down. Because I know it. Right. So she said, look, if you promise me, if you will do all the work I give you, I'll try to get you out of the special education class. But because my mother moved from there, I was transferred to Reaver and George Peabody in Portsmouth. Okay. And when I got there, the teacher saw that I could do work, and she was like, she called me and said, look, her name was Miss Darden. And she said, look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask some teachers, can you come into a classroom, but you can't tell nobody. And I would go into class and do work in the 6th and 7th grade. And then, because you stay in the special education class, you stay there by your age. So when you get 12, you go to the middle, you go to junior high. I went to Harry Hunt. After 2 years being there, when you get 16, you got to go to high school. So, but they try to tell my mother to give me get the school to give me a test, but she couldn't tell nobody. She couldn't tell that, the teacher. Right. And I saw her daughter about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, because I was working the polls in Virginia Beach, and her daughter was there working the polls. And I told her, she said, your name is you? Do you know my mother? I said, yeah. She said, whoa. She said, her mother had passed away. She said, what are you doing there? I said, I'm at Old Dominion in college. You what? I said, I'm in college. And she said, my mother would be so proud of you. I
Wow.
said, yeah. I said, that's why I always tell the story. And she said, if you know, maybe my mother didn't tell you, if the school would have found out that she let you go to regular classes, she would have lost her teaching license.
Oh, what?
Yeah. You know, so people don't understand that. Even when I talk to some of this, senators, they be like, don't you know the pipeline to prison starts at the 3rd grade?
If they can't read.
Because you can't read. If you don't get past the 3rd grade, that's the pipeline to prison. So this is why I wanted you to come on. This is why I needed you 2 gentlemen to come on, because you're 2 young men that achieved the goal, and you're still trying to give back to the community. You know, then nobody had to call you up and say, hey, Joe, look. Hey, Tommy, can you? No. You said, hey, I'm out here. I'm reaching out to the city. I'm reaching out to people that in the community to let them know this is what I'm trying to do. Because
when I look back on it, man, the community is what raised me. You know, it takes a village, man. And when I wasn't under the watchful eye of my mother, you know, I had neighbors watching me. I had coaches watching me. I had uncles and brothers and sisters watching over me, man. So, and teachers as well. Just like you talked about, I had teachers watching over me as well. So, I mean, it takes a village and that type of support, you know, to help build a person, help build a young kid, to make him believe that he can do the things that he wants, that he's dreaming about and that he wants to accomplish, you know, and that's what it's all about. It's simple, but we used to have this little thing in elementary school: believe, achieve, succeed on the board. And it always start with belief first. You got to make the kid believe that they can achieve it, and then once they achieve it, they know they succeed. So that's what I live by. That I read that almost every day as a kid growing up. So that's something I've always, carried to heart with me.
Yeah, and that's our Councilman Cash Green just texted me on my, he's watching. He said, great job, and like I keep trying to tell people.
What's up, Councilman Green?
What's up, Councilman Green? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah. And what's important is that people have to learn it's not about me.
Exactly.
Get the me out the picture.
Yeah.
Because our future generation is dying. And I'm 70 some years old. So if I'm getting older, who's going to take the place? If people every day you turn on the news, it's like you don't even want to watch the news.
Every time you open your phone, every time I open Facebook, I stopped opening Facebook for a while because of classmates, someone's child went missing, somebody. Did you guys hear about the child that got abducted a couple days ago?
Yes.
And that was a very sad situation.
Yeah, that was it's for us, it's really just changing and step by step changing the narrative. First thing you do is start with yourself, then from there you bridge outward. And it's really for us just putting in the work, one person at a time, one neighborhood at a time, one group at a time, one city at a time. It really and that's really what it is for us. Yeah, the grind work is a lot of the behind the scenes work. Joe and I joke about it all the time. he keeps me sane. He keeps me sane because a lot of when you're in the grind work or you're in building mode, all of it really kind of merges together. You're got your head down and you're working. And I will say that it's to have 2 Black men be able to support each other to help the community is huge, because I am very, very anal. Okay, just to put that out. I'm in technology, so I have to be somewhat very, very anal. If it was not for this guy right here, I would literally drive. Tom, calm down. Tom, we good. Tom, it's okay.
Take your face out the screen. Let's go.
Exactly. A couple of had some stuff happen a week ago. Hey man, I'm good, Tom. We're on the right track. We're moving forward. We're doing good. So be able to be that yin and yang to each other, because it's not easy.
No.
As you go through this process in building and helping your community, to your point, it's about teamwork. It's about working with like-minded folks and having a belief in God and a belief system that you can make a difference.
Right.
So we got about 5 minutes left. You got the flow, Joe and Tommy. Let them know what you want. I
mean, just real quick for me. I mean, I know we talked about the other things that the Academy brings, but another important piece that we haven't talked about is the mental health aspect.
Hello.
That's something else that we're bringing to the youth as well, because we all think that it's only the adults that deal with mental health issues, but it starts with the youth as well. So a lot of these kids, we want to be able to reach a lot of these kids and allow them to express themselves, allow them to open up if need be, allow them to have a safe space where they feel comfortable with, discussing and talking about some of the things that they're going through, whether it's at school, whether it's at home, whether it's with another friend, or, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it may be, somewhere that they're not stressing and feeling like they're alone and feeling like they don't have a safe space to go to. And that's another aspect that we're bringing to with the Academy as well.
Okay. Sounds great.
And just lastly, just wanted to say again, joesmithbasketballacademy.com, all the good work that Joe just talked about, you can get in contact with us there. You're able to see all the events. So the information on the camps that are coming up in July are there as well. The workout program that Joe has that can work with any high school team or rec league team. We train teams and we train individuals. So all of that information is there as well. Also, we are like we did say earlier, this is for the community and a camp for the community. So any community support will help. We want to make sure we keep the costs down for everyone in attendance. So you can go to joesmithbasketballacademy.com, go to the donations tab. If you want to make a donation, please, that money goes directly to feeding the kids, keeping them uniform, having all of the different programs that we talked about as well. Or if you want to sponsor a child to come to the camp for the week, you can do that all on the website as well. We look forward to seeing you guys, meeting everybody. If you see us out and about, or if you see us someplace, please don't hesitate to come up and speak to us. Or if you attended the camp, we appreciate all of your feedback, things like that as well. So just want to make sure we put that out. And then remember, these July 7th through the 11th, ages 8 to 12, and July 21st through 25th, ages 13 to 18. Summer camp 10 to 4, Virginia Beach, the Virginia Beach Sports Center, Davidson Technology Solutions, Joe Smith Basketball Academy, the City of Virginia Beach, and District 7 are going to put together 2 weeks of a wonderful camp for Hampton Roads. So we're looking forward to seeing everyone out there.
Yeah. I just want to say we want to sell it out.
Yes, sir.
That's what I keep saying.
Yes, sir.
That's what I keep saying.
Yeah,
the other day on the news.
We have 235,000 square feet of building. Let's go.
You can bring the whole 17
or 18 courts.
Yeah, 17. Like 17 courts, 235,000 square feet. I think I got that right. So come on, let's come to the glass doors. Let's fill up the building, and if nothing else, just to all the parents, to everyone in the community, come on, just have a good time. After all the talking, at the foundation of it all, come out, just have a good time.
Sierra, I'm gonna give you the last word. You got about 20 seconds.
20 seconds. I'll be brief. Thank you, guys. That's all I wanted to say. The community appreciates you, and I personally appreciate you guys for going out, having your career, experiencing your life, and bringing back your experiences so the next generation can do more. That was done for me by some individuals and some organizations, and it's great to see it continuing to happen.
Thank you, CC.
Thank you, CC. Appreciate it.
Before I go, I want to thank you once again for giving me the opportunity to bring you on the Best of the 757 Community Talk Show. And you're welcome to come back anytime. Just you got my number. Just say, hey, we want to come back on. We feel like we need to push it a little bit more. We need to get some more, promotions behind it. Just text me, call me anytime, day or night. I don't usually go to bed till like 6 in the morning. I got to keep working on the, promoting. But
No
nevertheless,
question.
I really appreciate y'all. It's an honor to have both of y'all on the show.
Yes, honored to be with you, Cap. It was good
Yes,
seeing you again, man. We really
thank you
appreciate you having us on today. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Cap. Thanks
All
for having us on. Appreciate
nice
it,
meeting you.
CC. You guys
Nice
have a
to meet
great
you
one.
guys,
Everybody
too.
have a
All
great
right,
day.
then.
Y'all be safe.
All right.
All right.
Remember, okay. Once again, we out of here. Remember to love yourself, put God first, and everything else is going to fall in place. Doesn't matter what others think about you. It's what you think about yourself. And don't forget to share this with other people on your Facebook page. And let's get it busy. And once again, thanks to City Councilman Cash Green. Don't be so mean, Cash Green. I'm out of here. See you later. Bye-bye.